Have you ever faced wiper arms that simply won't come off no matter what you try? That's the situation I'm dealing with on my Mark 1 Transit Connect. The aluminium spindle has fused with the steel wiper arm, and despite my best efforts, they're stuck fast. Unfortunately, the wiper arms are installed incorrectly and now the blades overlap the edge of the windscreen. But I can't adjust them because they're seized in place. My plan is to break the old scuttle tray to access the motor housing and then remove the entire unit in one piece. In today's video, I'll show you how I tackle this problem step by step. Let's dive in. Begin by removing the right-hand scuttle panel. You don't need to remove the bonnet. I've just done that to give you better visibility of what I'm doing. Posi 2 screwdriver. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's meant to be 6 screws in there. I'm only rocking 1, and that one's barely in itself. This one I'll hold on to. I might be able to sell that. Remove the rubber caps covering the bolts. 15mm socket to remove the nuts. These shouldn't be too difficult to remove. Now, this is the blade that's always given me jip. There are a number of things you can try to remove the wiper arms. You can use some kind of release agent. You can use a puller. And I think what you need most of all is patience and repetition. You should be spraying this onto the spindles over a course of many days, multiple times, to help it do its job. But I didn't do that. I've got the replacement parts, so I'm just going to sacrifice this already quite damaged scuttle tray. The last thing you need is for this piece of metal to get knocked and slam against your screen and smash it. So keep your wiper blades attached during the removal process. And voila, it's gone. If you subscribe to my channel below and click on the bell icon, you'll get notified every time I upload, because I'm after 4,000 public watch hours in order to be eligible to join the YouTube Partner Program. Right, let's get back to the video. You can improve access to these 2 bolts by getting the wipers on and just watch how the motor moves around, and you can turn your ignition off when it's in a position that gives you most access. So I would say just before the completion of a cycle. That one's up out the way, at least for that bolt. I'm going to try first using an 8mm ratchet spanner because of the difficult access. That one to the side, just keep it safe. Yep, and my finger loose, so I can just get the rest of that one by hand. The one down there, also 8mm, and we've got a corresponding one here, right in the middle. This time I'll use a socket with an extension bit on there. Right, last one. Next thing will be to disconnect the power, and that looks like it's under here. So it might be easier to remove the motor first. And it looks like there's also one other thing I need to remove. This panel here, because I've still got the wiper arms on, I can't just tuck it under and lift it out. So this entire panel that I need to remove. And how many things are holding that down? We got 1 in the middle, 2 here, and then we've got 1, 2, probably 3, 4 10mm bolts holding it down onto the chassis. So that's another unanticipated removal. So that's what's next. You gotta do what you gotta do. The nut I'm going for is located just out of sight of the camera, annoyingly. It's just down in here. That should lift straight out. This might be a good point to change your filter in here. What have we got? 1 more here, and that should be it. This one just about came out with the socket. And then a T30 to be removed here. And then I should be able to lift this out. But undoubtedly there's something else hiding down here stopping me. It's held in with plastic clips here and down the other end as well. Why am I not surprised to find that this plastic clip is of the variety that's not designed to be removed? I get it when you've got things in difficult to reach places, but at least make them easy to remove, right? There's one. Yeah, and it's looking like it's just going to be one down the other end here. Go on. Got it. Okay. This should now lift out. Oh, can you believe it? This reservoir is attached to the whole panel. Maybe I can just lift it out the way rather than out of the vehicle. Just enough. There we go. Just enough to allow me to drop. Can I get it? Go on. Slide it down. Go on. Just watching out for your fuel filter below. Don't careful of those pipes, and this should just lift out. You can turn it over, revealing the electrical connector, which looks as though it is one that you depress the wire and then pull towards you. And this should now lift out. Whilst I got the wiper motor out and this is all accessible, I'm going to give it a good clean. Going to take my replacement unit and drop it in. In fact, let's plug it in first. Yeah, that's it. So this one here wants to come above this bracket and drop down on there. That drops down on there, and that is roughly in situ now. So I can just secure it in place with these ones first, and then I can nip it up at the back. And all 4 of these bolts, once they're in, want to be torqued to 8 Newton meters. Near side front and offside front. Now we've got to calibrate them. Normally when you take your wipers off, you use tape to mark on the windscreen so you can get them back in the correct position, but considering they were not in the correct position to start with, that would be pointless. So let's try there. No, they're not tight enough yet. Okay, so you can see here the near side wiper needs to come up, and offside one because it's not quite coming far enough. Looks like we want to be about there, I'd say, and maybe around there. Let's try that. Let's go full speed and see where we end up here. So on a really wet windscreen, we're coming only to here, so I think that's great. Okay, we're perfect here. Oh, perfect all round. Great, absolutely fantastic. So we're done. Well, that is all from me today. I am chuffed with the results. I've been meaning to do this for over a year. Going down a motorway at 60, 70 and having your wipers flip off the side of the screen, bit disconcerting. But I've got that fixed now, the van's a little safer. If you're enjoying these types of videos, the van maintenance mechanical side, please subscribe below. I'm always tweaking my van and making little changes here and there. And if you're new here, I'm also converting the van, so go check out my channel. That conversion, there's probably almost 50 videos on the conversion to date, and there are many more to come. So subscribing, clicking on the bell icon, that will get you notified when those videos go live. I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.